Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're getting through these winter months like I am. I have the hope of spring, and I'm getting very excited about warm, sunny days and not being freezing to death all the time. I'm just so cold. I love the summer. All right, this was going to be your weekly reading, Aquarius, for March 1st through the 7th. So that's pretty exciting. Like I said, getting through the winter. During that time, we have a waxing gibbous energy that we bring in from last week. Of course, that's a good time for demonstrating our flexibility, making adjustments in those things that we've started during the new moon. We then move into the full moon energy. The actual full moon's on the 3rd, but of course, you can feel that energy if you're like me the day before, during, and after. So you might, have heightened emotions. You might feel a little overwhelmed and anxious. You might have little changes in your sleeping patterns. I know I do. I cannot sleep. I just get the biggest energy on the full moon. So it is a good time for us to release any resentment or fear, and also to practice patience and calm, to really take note of, I try to, when I have that much energy, like, well, how am I using it? Am I using it in a positive way? And just to practice being a little calmer, or again, focusing and just driving that energy in a correct and productive way. So anyway, this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Aquarius. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to have faith in your dreams, which is a lovely message. All right, let's get into this here. While I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you keep a spiritual journal. And that's because sometimes we don't realize the things, how we're evolving, or sometimes you just forget things that you're learning. This could be dreams that you're having. Think about how many times you've had a dream and you're like, oh, that was the craziest dream. And now, can you recall those details now? My memory doesn't let me do that. So I have to write those things down. And especially, with dreams, sometimes you don't really see what the dream meant at the time. I'm not real big. I've tried to really use those like those dream reference guides and that sort of thing, and they just don't make sense to me. And I really am convinced that each of us has our own unique kind of dream symbolism world. And if you write those dreams down, that world, those symbols for you start to become clear and make a little more sense. So I know I'm babbling about that, but writing dreams down in a journal, also, synchronicities that you're having or things that you're learning, or things that you're applying. This could be also numbers and things that you're encountering and what those angel messages mean. So just keeping a dream journal, it's a great way to look back later and say, oh, look how this thing, learning this has changed my life. Or, oh, I was going to do this thing and I forgot to. That's one I use it for all the time. Or, this dream makes sense now that I'm looking back from 6 months or a year or even more down the road. So that is just my fun weekly reminder for you, is that you keep a dream journal. So, all right, let's get into this reading. I swear I'll stop babbling right now. So, Aquarius, first week of March, have faith in your dreams. And your overall energy right now, Aquarius, is the Wheel of Fortune. So something is evolving and changing in your life. And it could be that, it's something that you've manifested, and here it comes. So have faith that things are moving in the right direction, because again, the Wheel of Fortune it really just means you don't know what tomorrow brings. It could bring anything. And that's the fun of life, is that the wheel in the sky keeps turning and you don't know where you'll be tomorrow. To quote, was it Journey? I think I think of them. There are certain songs that tarot cards bring to mind to me, and that's one for that card. It makes me think of that. Your current situation right now, Aquarius, is you're happy. You're in a good place. This is the happiest card in the deck. This is about, just light and things being great, things being it's about healing and comfort and just feeling good. This is just, it's just the happiest card, and it's good to have that happy feeling. At the root of your situation this week is the Six of Swords here. So I'm sorry, Six of Wands. Sometimes I say swords instead of wands. My brain does that to me. Six of Wands, which is about kind of getting a little pat on the back. And that's kind of at the root. And it could have you feeling great that there's just something, maybe you got a raise this week and your boss had to pour on the praise and give you a raise and tell you you're doing a great job here. We really appreciate you. Or, some family member or friend just recognized something and it just made you feel good. And that's probably bringing in that good feeling for you. And I like that a lot. In your recent past here, is that maybe you were feeling a little bit like an outsider and maybe in the material sense, in the financial sense even, and this could even be kind of in the friendship sense, and now you're not, now that's kind of concluded and maybe there was some misunderstanding or something, but you're feeling better about it now, whatever it is. So, and it even could be about this wand situation that you're, if you're at a job and you're thinking, am I doing it? You start kind of second guessing yourself, but someone comes along and tells you that you're doing a great job and you're like, okay, phew, I was kind of wondering, so sometimes it's just nice to get those words of encouragement and words of, hey, that little attaboy that you're doing a good job. So what's on your mind this week, Aquarius, is the Ace of Pentacles. So it could be that there is some new money that's coming for you. Did you get a raise? Did something come about that made you feel like, oh, I'm doing a good job because it was shown to you financially, like, hey, doing a great job. Here's a bonus. Here's a something. There's something with this is kind of a new financial opportunity that comes in for you because of it. Again, this could be, for some of you, a tax return that comes in. There's lots of different ways that more new money, but a new financial opportunity. So make sure that you use that very wisely this week, Aquarius. What is just ahead of you this week is the Page of Wands. So you might be exploring some new passion. For some of you, this could be that you've met a new person. That's a new passion you might explore, but it also could be in the ways of like a hobby or, something that you love to do. It could be a new book that you've picked up. I mean, it's just the gamut of just something that you are really cultivating and allowing to be and allowing yourself to enjoy, but it is something that's relatively new to you this week. All right, in your advice position here is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so the advice is to maybe take this money and think about the long term and security kind of thing. How can you use that money long term? Don't run out if you get a pile of money. It's never a good idea to be like, well, I'm going to take all my friends out to dinner and I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to the mall. No, there is a good way to proportion money so that you're like, I can enjoy this a little bit, but I'm also going to be very highly responsible with some of this. I'm not touching, some of I'm going to use in a responsible way to make my life better. So think about those ways, be very responsible and be very Ten of Pentacles. This is the card of long-term wealth and security. So don't go blow that new money that comes in. Make sure that you're using it in a way that helps your life for years down the road. It could just be savings. It could be that you're going to invest it somehow and grow that money. So definitely, be responsible when those things come about. What is beyond your control this week is the Hermit. So you're going to do some hermiting and some thinking within and some, inner wisdom type things. And hopefully it is about this, that you're going to just think twice about, have you blown through money in the past? I wouldn't be shocked because you're an Aquarius. I wouldn't be shocked that you've done that. Don't do that this time. And no, look back and learn your lessons. This is why we journal things and learn things. It's like, have I done, am I okay there financially right now, or can I do better? Have I blown things in the past and just blown through money? And I don't want to do that. But your inner wisdom knows to tell you the right way to go about it for sure. Make sure you're listening to that Hermit a little bit this week. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords in this case could be that you're just not telling people that you have this money, and that's okay. I mean, I see this card as kind of holding secrets and maybe dropping a couple of those swords, a couple swords of information, but not all of it. And moving forward, and this can be seen as deceit, and it can it be in certain positions. I think so. In some positions like this, I feel like it's just that you don't want to give everybody your information. You might have friends that do think, oh, you've got money this week, we're going to the bar. So if you don't let that cat out of the bag, then maybe those things don't happen. Maybe those bad decisions don't happen. But this will be your big question of the week, is to hold on to that information. Is it your secret desire to do that, or are you trying to avoid doing that? So ask yourself that, and ask you how it served you in the past, and what you need to do when it comes to, get telling all your stories, telling all your secrets to the whole world. All right. In your outcome position, is judgment. So you're going to learn something. Judgment is about having a new awareness about something. It's about being accountable. It's about truth that comes out, but it is also about evaluating things and just kind of it is about doing better. It's a new awareness so that you can, some truth that comes about, even if it's through this hermit and even if it's a self truth, it's a truth that comes about so that you can do better next time. So it's just a new awareness based on your own judgment. So, what is hidden from you at the bottom of the deck here, Aquarius, is the Magician. So, not quite time for manifesting new things this week. We're going to deal with the things at hand. Maybe this Magician comes up in your future, and we're going to, I feel like you're kind of just dealing with what's going on in your life this week, and it's not really time to think too far ahead in the future. You need to manage what's on your plate right now at the moment. All right, let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Aquarius for the first week of March. Have faith in your dreams. Yeah, and especially your financial dreams, it looks like this week. So have faith that you can do that and you can be disciplined. All right, final message here for Aquarius. All right, and the card that you get is the creative no. And I think that's hilarious with this card I was talking about. Do you have people around you that, like, if they know you have money, they want you to treat and blow that money on maybe not the smartest things? Very interesting. You might need to find the way through the hermit to be the creative no and think about it a little bit, right? Let's see what Aquarius needs to do in the way of self-care. How does Aquarius need to take care of themselves this week? Self-care for Aquarius, and the card that you get is the card called Rituals. Steady yourself with simple rituals. Do the dishes, fold the laundry, water the plants, make a cup of tea. Let wisdom sneak up on you. Yeah, sometimes what is that saying that, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Those rituals are sometimes just kind of what makes our life feel, I don't know. I love doing some of those things as well. There's days where it's like, oh, those rituals, they just feel so comforting, and you can let your mind wander. Like, I'll put on some music and just clean, or organize something, tear something open and organize it very well. But doing those rituals, those things that you have to do every day, it's just a part of your life, and it's really a good thing to appreciate those things and just take care to do them and to let your mind wander a little bit as you're doing those rituals. So, Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life in a positive way this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment and let me know. Did any of this resonate? Do you have something like this going on in your life right now? Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me next week, which I appreciate so much. And you can come back and see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So good luck with all of this, Aquarius. Thank you so much for being here once again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.